Hey guys, hope you're doing well. We just left McKinney Falls State Park, just in South Austin, Texas. And we really like that place. The sights are really nice. There's lots of grass. There's walking paths to go to the upper and lower falls, as well as huge picnic areas. You can ride your bike on the pathway also. It was just a really nice park. It was super easy to get in and out of.
Yeah.
We like it a lot. But while we were there, we set up our way safe middleweight weight distribution hitch.
Yep.
We also set up our LevelMatePro, and we checked and tightened up everything on the roof rack and the bikes.
Yeah.
So we're going to show you all the new products we have and walk through each one of them.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about all three of them. They're definitely game changers for us. Having the bikes on top of the car is huge. Means that the bikes are not inside the trailer. We're not bringing bugs and debris and all the stuff in, and then we also don't have to climb over them. The weight distribution hitch we've already noticed a huge difference. Looking forward to weighing again to make sure of all the numbers and all the things. But
the thing I like the most about the weight distribution hitch, and I'll talk about it further when we're outside next to it, is it has a gauge. So you know what your tongue weight is, and then you can adjust the bolts and change your distributed weight, which is huge. There is no other hitch on the market that does this, which means because we travel full time and we're always boondocking, and sometimes we have water in the tank, sometimes we don't, sometimes we have water in this tank and that tank, sometimes we have 2 to 3 weeks of food, sometimes we don't.
yeah.
Every single time we're getting ready to tow, I get to make the very quick minor adjustments to the hitch to make sure we're set up perfectly every single time. And I absolutely love that about the hitch.
Yeah, it's really nice.
As far as sway goes, I would say 99% of the sway is gone. Like, we're in super high wind right now and it's not moving. We got semis running by us, it's not moving. Like, it's super nice.
I think the only time we've noticed anything at all, and it was minor, was when a box truck went by.
Yeah, it's only the box trucks. When the box trucks go by, they push a lot of air.
I don't know if y'all have noticed that, but we sure have.
It's just the box trucks. It's not semis. So it's a little weird. But that's been that way since we had King Leo. So.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see you in a little bit when we go through everything.
Yeah, we're excited to share a lot more with you guys.
Hey guys, so this is Pearl, our 2nd gen Sequoia. We just got done putting a Victory 4x4 rack on top. It is full length and it does bolt down in all 3 positions. And then immediately we put all 7 of our bikes up there. Yes, there's 7 because Jeffrey's in transition between his 12-inch and the 20-inch. He's just barely not confident enough on the 20-inch, but he is very much too big for the 12-inch. So that's why there's 7 for now. We're just waiting for that transition to happen. It is nice and paved here, and I don't see any of the sandburrs or anything. So there's a good chance we'll get the bikes out while we're here. But other than that, we love it. So another thing that I talked to you guys about is the front LED lights. This is the first thing I do on every one of our new vehicles. However, finally, we get to change. So they're LED low beams, LED high beams, and LED fog lights. However, my fog lights are pretty special. They go from white to amber, and then they can go back. So at any point it's raining, snowing, foggy, I can turn them on to amber. And at any point where it's just dark, I can turn them back on to white. Absolutely love it. It is so nice to finally be able to have those. I wish these were available when we had the 4Runner. And they're not the super expensive ones that you got to buy from all the aftermarket light companies and all of that. These are just regular LED bulbs. They go in the factory places, and I absolutely love it. One of the things we loved about our 4Runner when we first got it is the back window went down. This window in the Sequoia, it does go down. It does work for now. So for now we're using it, and we have a huge trunk in the back of the Sequoia. There's actually nothing in there but our morphlate and just a couple tiny tools in case we need them.
Our emergency kit's back there too.
So this is the Way-Safe True Toe Middleweight Weight Distribution Hitch. I absolutely love that it has a gauge. The reason that I like this will actually tell you your tongue weight. So the way that you set this up is you set your trailer down on the ball with no bars, and it tells you what your tongue weight is. You need to know what that is because it needs to be at least 10 to 15% of the trailer. Now our trailer is 7,000 pounds maximum. So 10% of that would be 700 pounds of tongue weight. We're at 750 pounds tongue weight. Now the weight distribution is nice because then you hook it on the ball, then you lift it back up so you can place the bars. You put the bars on there and then you reset it down. And when you do that, through the Way-Safe app, you actually put in your numbers and you do a couple measurements from the hitch to your center of your rear axle, your tow vehicle, from the hitch to the mounting point on your travel trailer where the bars go. And then you go from here on these bars to the center of your tandem axle. And you pump those measurements in there along with your original tongue weight, and it gives you the weight that you should see on the gauge to distribute it back forward to the front axle. And so you loosen this nut right here, and then you turn this, and you turn it clockwise to go up and anti-clockwise to go down in the numbers. And so then that number that it tells you is the number you're looking for on the gauge. And so for us, we're looking at between 1,600 and 1,750 distributed weight. And so we spin this until we hit that number. And what that does is that turns this ball backwards, but because the bars are pushing up, it's pushing the whole car. It's a whole pivot. It's pushing the whole car forward so that your weight is going back to the front axle. And then because we have the automatic rear leveling, I lock out the airbags at normal ride height, which is what you have to be at on the interstate. It automatically goes there. So I set that at normal and I hit manual to lock it out. Then I do all of the hitch. I put the ball on, I get the tongue weight, and I do the bars, and I do my distributed weight, and I can adjust that for every single time that we travel. This is very simple because sometimes we're boondocking and now we have water in the front kitchen tank, or we have water in the back gray or the back black tank, and you want to be able to have a good tow. This is the hitch to do it because you can adjust it every single time very easily because there's a gauge right here. There's no guessing. There's no washers. There's no taking the hitch apart to put washers in it. None of that garbage. You just get to spin the bolt and it tows like a dream. We've been towing with this for a little bit and the sway control is unbelievable. And I just have these torqued to 65 foot-pounds. So that's not even as high as I could go for sway control. So I absolutely love it. They also, they have a adapter kit that's supposed to give you a regular hitch. And it says on their website that it works with this one. Well, they're incorrect. And it only works with the heavyweight weight distribution hitch. And this is the middleweight. If you have the heavyweight, you can use the adapter kit to make it a regular hitch as well. And it's the same shank, which is what I wanted. But that's the way it goes. But other than that, if you want a weight distribution hitch and you full time and you boondock and your weight is always changing because sometimes your freshwater goes to the front tank, sometimes it goes to the rear, this is the hitch to get because you can adjust it every single time and it is so fast, so easy. It's just spinning a bolt and watching the gauge. It's very, very easy. We love it and highly recommend this hitch. So the next thing we got is a combination of your phone and a single device that you put in the trailer. And it is the LevelMatePro. And that is a huge game changer for us, because we like to be able to pull in, easily level, and know that it's at zeros and then go. So this is our setup. We're perfect zeros right now. What they want you to do is they want you to measure the width from outside tire to outside tire on your RV. And then they want to know from the tip of the tongue, or from the tongue jack, from the center of the tongue jack back to the rear axle, to the center of the rear axle to the center of the tongue jack. They're the two measurements that it wants. And then in the app it tells you which way the label is facing: forwards, backwards, driver side, passenger side. Now on ours is passenger side, and I hit it underneath the side of my bed, and it plugs directly into our Blue Eddy. And so that means that it always has power. I never have to worry about changing the battery or anything, because the Blue Eddy will always run. And then you level your trailer left to right, front to back, get perfect zeros, and then you hit set level, and you're done. It is literally that easy. I'll show you where I installed it. So this right here is where I installed it, right here by the bed. Right here by the bed is where I installed it. It is perfectly level. So this is a LevelMatePro Plus, which comes with a USB micro, and that plugs directly right here to the Blue Eddy, and that always is running, so we will always have power going to that LevelMatePro, so we don't have to worry about changing the little battery or anything like that ever. It's just always going to run. And that makes it super, super easy to know which side we're putting the wedges on, or if we're putting them on the front or the back. It makes it very, very easy to do that and see that while I'm sitting in the driver's seat. And the boys can help me very easily by just telling them, put them in front of these tires or those tires, or the front tires or the back tires. And then on the other ones, they just set the chocks. And that makes leveling so much faster when you get to a campsite. And we're really excited about that piece too. One of the other things that we have that we just have never gotten around to doing is putting a GoPro mount on the top center of the RV. It gives an incredible picture, and because it's the Max, it gives a 360. So while we're driving, you guys are going to enjoy some incredible views. Plus, I think it's really cool that you're up above and you get to see the car moving with the bikes on it, and driving and moving and dipping and all that. I think that's really cool to see. But either way, we're going to start dumping a ton of that footage in, because the wind isn't always friendly for us to fly the drone while we're driving. The other thing we want to talk about is our LEDs under the trailer. And they're just two super cheap kits that we put together, and they're underneath the trailer. But what they do is they outline the entire trailer, the front and the back. And the reason that's important is we use red LEDs at night, and they're critter lights, and they truly do work. They keep all the critters out of our rig, and we haven't had any critters in our rig. But one huge pro of why we bought these ones is these also turn white, and I can crank them up. That way at night, if I have to back into a site, or if we're just driving up an OHV road, I can crank them on, and it is daylight under the rig and to the sides of the rig. I can see every pothole, I can see every tree, I can see everything. So it makes it very easy for Kelly to help me back up. All she has to do is watch the rear of the rig and the top of the rig, and I can see everything about driving and backing up very easily. And so we love that. Sorry about the plane noise, but the boys love the colors. These lights will sync through Bluetooth to a music player, and they will dance, and they will change colors, and they will do all the fun stuff. We don't do that at a campground. Don't be that people. Don't be those kind of RVers. But when we're out in the middle of nowhere and there's nobody around us, we turn them on. And if you come park next to us when those lights are already on, that's on you. But while we're in campgrounds, we leave them red. Unless we're coming in late at night, we'll turn them on to white. That way we can quickly see, quickly set up, turn them off, turn them back to red, and we're done. Red doesn't bother anybody. The last thing we will talk about are the tires. These are Westlake's. These are the originals, and the tread is about down to 1/3, and we've had no issue with these. We've run TPMS on these tires from day one. I check the air pressure in these tires every single time we stop. I make sure they're set at exactly 65 in the morning when they're cold, and I check them every time we stop for gas. We stop for the boys to pee or we get a snack or anything like that. I check them every single time. We've had no issues. They're wearing perfectly. All 4 of them are wearing perfectly. And while we haven't had any issue with these, I am not going to replace them with Westlake's. I am going to move to either the Maxxis or the Saloons or the Carlisles. Now, if you have any of those tires, let me know. That way I can benefit from your guys' knowledge, just like I did on the weight distribution hitch and other things like that. You know, we share information back and forth. We help each other out. So it has been an incredible week. Lots of work to do. We are here in Lake Corpus Christi. We're getting ready to do a solar and battery install, which we are super excited about. We are super excited for the clients to have it. The clients are excited. We get just as excited as the clients do every time we do an install, because it is such a huge deal and game changer to be able to not have to plug in, which means you don't have to pay the highest prices in the campground unless you choose to. It also gives you the ability to boondock and be out in the middle of nowhere and just relax. So we're excited about that. We're going to do some laps. We're going to do some family stuff, some family adventures. Kelly's going to be doing some cooking. More videos on those. We know you guys love those videos of a family of 6 can actually cook with an RV kitchen and an RV oven. It works, and we have all the same meals that we had from home. She makes bread and rolls and breadsticks, everything. It's not difficult. You just have to make a little bit of adjustments and have the right gear to do so. But yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Hopefully we see you on the road. We're on to the next adventure.